Dreams without goals are just dreams unless you do something about it. And tech is that platform to bring the two worlds of having a creative mind, building stuff, and creating a digital thing that everybody uses. All right, good day, people. This is another episode of Let's Talk Tech with Gen Z. First things first, we just want to introduce you to this topic that we've actually thought of, and it's something very big, especially in today's world. So to give you just a brief snippet, Denzel Washington once said, "Dreams without goals are just dreams unless you do something about it." So without further ado, let's start off with some introductions. I'm Leslie Eric. I'm in the software development bootcamp. And sat next to me is
Khositsile Lubakeng, part of the cybersecurity cohort.
And I'm Brandon Maungwe, part of the software engineering cohort. I mean, the January cohort, if I'm not mistaken. But then, yeah.
So yeah, that's a brief introduction of everyone. But I just want to pose a bigger question to you guys. Was this your main dream now? To first go for a career in tech? Was it your main dream?
Can I be honest with you? I wanted to be a soccer player, guys, growing up. And then, injuries, dreams crash, parents. Hey, it's a lot. So I think branching out, doing your research, I stumbled upon Melsoft, stumbled upon cybersecurity. And seeing that word in cybersecurity, it's an interesting word, Like people always tell me, what do you do actually? So I went for something unique, something interesting, and I think that's what got me to where I am right now.
No, that's very nice. And yourself, Brandon?
Well, for me, I had two options. It was between being a pilot or a software engineer, right? So then, growing up, you would start to see the dynamics of how things are like. I see, okay, this is interesting. I was more interested in tech, So then, being a pilot, I set it aside and focused on being interested in tech, So then, I was just interested in the littlest things, how things work. So that I was just like, what, I'm going to be a software engineer or anything related into tech. So I can say it was my dream in the beginning, but number two, because then it was first pilot and then a software engineer. But then software engineer just came first, and that's how it all went about.
Very nice, very nice. I think for myself, I'd say the dream was, at one point, it was accounting. Accounting was the dream. Then it was Formula One, or it was cycling, those types of things, those sports. But obviously, physically, they're very taxing and so on. So you always think, is it worth it? Is it the main thing I should do? Then you look at other skills that you have, I'm good with building stuff, like working with my hands. So I thought, maybe there's a way to bring the two worlds together, And tech is that platform to bring the two worlds of having a creative mind, building stuff, and creating a digital thing that everybody uses. But let's be honest, gents, we all at one point, we all wanted to be superheroes. I wanted to be Spider-Man. Who was yours?
Batman.
Me personally, Spider-Man as well, okay? Like, hey, Spider-Man was the one. I wanted to be like Spider-Man, everything. A character, everything,
And you?
As long as I'm saving lives, guys, I really didn't care. At some point, I think I wanted to be Captain South Africa, instead of Captain America. So yeah, as long as I was saving, doing something interesting, that's what I wanted to do.
We've all been there. For me, it was like Iron Man or Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Those types of things, And yet again, funny enough, all the heroes you mentioned, tech is involved.
That's true.
So it's already then we knew this is the way forward. But now let's take a deeper dive. So when we said sports, I mentioned Formula One, who's your favorite Formula One driver?
Because I'm black, people always assume I'm going to say Lewis Hamilton.
Of course it's
Wrong.
Of course it's Lewis Hamilton.
Wrong. Charles Leclerc, Chief.
Oh,
Charles
okay.
Leclerc.
No, it's valid. It's valid.
If not
it's
Charles
valid.
Leclerc, Max Verstappen.
Aye.
Max Verstappen.
Yourself, Brandon?
Hey, like I said, Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton.
One. Yes. You'll
Why?
always be number one.
Why?
If you think F1, who comes to mind? Lewis Hamilton.
Never.
No matter who talks about it, Lewis Hamilton always comes to mind. So I say he is number one. What about you, gang?
Lazy.
I come to this, with facts on the table, and Lewis Hamilton is the greatest of all time. I like Hamilton. I like Charles. Max is good. He's the greatest of today's generation. But when we give someone the title of GOAT, we're saying of all time. And Lewis has dominated F1 from 2013 to 2021. Count the years, people. Count the years. That's almost 10 years of dominance. 2 years shy of a 10-year reign. Max hasn't done that. So you already know, the proof is in the pudding. And if it's not Lewis, the next best alternative is Ayrton Senna.
Switch it up, switch it up. I feel attacked now. Brandon, what's your favorite team? Let's expose you now. What's your favorite team?
Oh, Formula One.
Yeah.
Hey, gang. Wherever Lewis is at, he's a Ferrari right now, so I'm going to say Ferrari. But low-key, I'm an American guy, Mercedes-Benz. But then I'm going to just say Ferrari because Lewis is there.
I feel like this Ferrari glaze, guys, has to stop at some point. Yo.
Nah, it's just the honest truth, Because then Lewis Hamilton is the GOAT in F1, right?
Okay.
We go to soccer. Messi is the GOAT in soccer.
Lying.
Yes, exactly.
Lying.
How am I lying?
Lying.
Okay, tell me. How many World Cups does Ronaldo have?
It's not about World Cup.
No, answer. How many World Cups does Ronaldo have?
How many does Messi have?
Wait, answer. Wait, World Cup. He has one.
One.
Yeah, he has one World Cup.
Away. Ronaldo does not have. Away.
Yeah, and
Away.
what's your point?
Away.
What's your point?
Chief. A goat. A goat. Do you know what a goat is?
What is a GOAT?
Do you know what a steering is? When I say the word steering, do you know what that is?
I'm listening.
Baba, Cristiano is the goat. Dog. Hard work. Do you know what hard work is?
Nah, personally, Messi is.
Messi's talent. Messi's talent.
And he still worked for it. And he was noticed. He went high. He did everything to be noticed. So Messi is the GOAT as well.
Messi has talent.
Yes.
And Messi has worked hard. I'll give him that. And he has the accolades to also show that, he is a class player. But at the same time, if you look outside the box, Cristiano Ronaldo, time and time again, he's put up numbers. And I'm not talking about scoring also. I'm talking about goal attempts, Brandon. Goal attempts, over 300 in one season. To you, that's crazy, isn't it? Can Messi do that? Though?
Messi has numbers as well. He has broken records, Ballon d'Ors. Let's talk about Ballon d'Ors. How many Ballon d'Ors does Messi have and how many does Ronaldo have? He's below him. No, I'm not letting go of the Messi clout. You got to give credit where it's due. And he has trophies to prove his greatness. He has trophies to prove that he's good.
Yeah.
I think, you know what the thing is, right? We can say trophies and everything. But in all honesty, let's say in all honesty and in all fairness, if we remove trophies, World Cups and stuff, honestly, to date, Cristiano is better. And to prove this point that Cristiano is better, if Argentina doesn't have Messi, does Argentina win? No. If Ronaldo sits on the bench, does Portugal win? Yes.
Well, what happened in the World Cup?
Hold on. Breathe. Hold on. Ronaldo was inside and they lost. Okay? Fine. But Messi was still there and they lost to Saudi Arabia. Do you know where Saudi Arabia is? They're not even in the Champions League, my guy. Saudi Arabia beat a team like Argentina that has the GOAT, apparently.
Yeah, we have
the GOAT.
We have the GOAT. And then at the same time, we now talk about the tech giants, like the upcoming tech companies. I'd say like the most creative one is Warp. You know about Warp, right? So do you care to explain about people what Warp really is?
So if you haven't already heard, Warp is basically a digital marketplace. It's fast growing. It's located in New York City. And most of you people already know co-owner of it now is the big infamous Iman Gadzhi. So he acquired this company, Warp, because he, more like Jason Fladden as well, is also a very big enthusiast in digital products. So they came together, they collaborated. Recently, we had a challenge for it, not so long ago. There was a challenge, he promoted Warp, and he showed people how to capitalize on this opportunity. So if you don't know what it is, please go look it up. It's really a game changer. I myself do have a Warp, and I would say it is definitely a game changer.
Yeah, and being also on the topic of game changer, you can also look at Iman Gadget's track history, the things he has done. Like, you can just be like, he's smart, where he invested in. He invested in Warp. He's one of the Warp investors, amongst the others. There's also this other person who was on Shark Tank. He also invested in Warp. So I think there's a future in warp, there's a future in tech, for others to make money, to make it easy for you guys, as to what warp really is about. For example, you can clip this video right here. You can literally just post it on your social media, and then if you, for example, if that post generates about 1,000 views, I myself would pay you $4 per 1,000 views. So you winning, and I'm also winning because I'm getting noticed even more. So that's what basically is, amongst other things as well, right? And then we also talk about Luke Belmer. I heard you talking about him. Tell me what it does.
So Luke Ballmer, like most people, he's also one of those big people up and coming, and he's mainly dabbled in things like crypto, e-commerce. So some of the harder things that people think nowadays are saturated. But as Luke says, it's always about having the right information, knowing the right people. So nothing will ever be saturated. And he has communities like Capital Club. So for Capital Club, that's like a community. We have like-minded people. You have access to all the information that isn't even mainstream. So it will actually blow your mind if you knew what was in Capital Club. Then if you're more into things like crypto, you have gem hunters for that. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Exactly. And right now, as I was thinking, like you all say that you all have gyms, right? I feel like those dreams are still valid and still possible, right? Like, for example, let's make up this scenario, right? I want to be in the NBA, okay? Of course, I'm nerfed by the height. Hey, height, I'm short to be in the NBA. You have to be 6'5", somewhere there, right? But then the goal is, the destination is the NBA. What you can do is just change the plan. You understand? Way of, sure, I'm short. I can't make it in the NBA, because they require very tall people. Why not do something within the NBA? Just like, for example, I'm doing software engineering, right? The destination is still the NBA. I can literally work hard enough as a software engineer and then make my way to the NBA working as a software engineering. So it's just a thing of, the dream is still there, but you're just changing the plan to get to your dream. So that's how it should be like. Well, what do you think it should be like, you personally, Horse, again?
For me, I'll start off by saying nothing in life goes as planned. You do have a plan A, you do have a plan B, plan C, but it's not really guaranteed whether you'll actually go to that plan A, plan B, plan C. So it's good to have backups, and like you said, also going out to the NBA as a software engineer, you could create a new system for them or anything. For me, because I'm doing cybersecurity, I feel like the FIFA systems, they could be hacked sometimes. Someone could hack the VAR, allow a goal all of a sudden. So I am needed. I'm needed everywhere and anywhere. I could go anywhere and everywhere, and yeah.
So it's basically a thing of, tech is needed everywhere.
Yeah. In a sense,
is lucrative everywhere.
We live in a world where tech is now taking over.
It's the
taking
future.
over. It is the future.
We are in the future.
I feel like in a few
everything.
years you are going to see flying cars. Leslie, we did say the other day, flying taxis. It's going to be mad. So I do see tech taking over.
Yeah, it is taking over. Just
And
like when we now talk about tech taking over, we already have Elon Musk developing different ideas. We already have the Tesla that's already been there. So a flying car is basically nothing. In a few years, they will. Of course, we hoped for a flying car in 2024, but then these different things. We never thought of AI would be in 2025. Sorry, I say 2024, 2025. We never thought that AI would be in 2025. So I think there'll be something new in the future that we do not know of. Like I said, it'll still be tech involved. Tech is the future. Tech is everything. We are surrounded by tech, and tech is needed. So if you feel like tech is not enough, like jobs in tech are finishing, just know that tech is everywhere. Literally everything you do is tech. So yeah, what about you, Leslie?
I'd say, no, definitely I agree. We always think that we have, like a lot of us, we played sports in school, we're very good at sports. We're some of the top achievers. But then after high school, you think, can I take this further? Then you see there's all these different barriers of entry. And you think that's it, I'll never make it to the top. And, we're having a debate about it, but look at Messi and Ronaldo. It's not like they started at the top. They also had to work their way to the top. So it's also just like for us, we want to get to the top. We still have that dream to get there. But for us now, it's more about, not as Brendan said, the destination stays the same. Always aim for the top. But as you also mentioned, with life, you have to be willing to adapt, you know. It's not going to be a clear-cut path straight to the top. It never is, trust me, it never is. So you just kind of have to pivot. You know, different opportunities come at different points in your journey. So, you know, whether you accept them or not, that's up to you. But yeah.
So I have a question for you guys, and I'm sure somewhere out there there's a Messi fan watching this podcast also, and I'm sure they have dreams of their own. So what is one piece of advice you could give them?
One piece of advice.
Yeah.
Damn. As I always say, slow motion is better than no motion. You know, that's the one piece of advice I can give. What about you?
I think the best piece of advice, you know, it's a tricky one because there's a lot of generic ones, you know, like never give up and so on. Consistency is key, which we all know. But I think a deep-rooted advice to give to someone, like especially in our generation, you know, where there's like a lot of different opinions and feelings on things. I think the best thing you can do, but can get you to where you want to go in life, where you want to be, is you just have to be 100% yourself. Because that is literally the foundation for everything. Once you be 100% yourself, you open the door for you to reach that exponential height. That's why it's literally called the 1%. The 1% aren't afraid to say, you know, this place sucks, because it's just how they feel. They're not going to sugarcoat their feelings. Not to say that you must now go and step on people's toes. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying be yourself. And yes, not everyone may like you for being yourself, and that's okay. There's 8 billion people on the world. Why worry about one person? There's a whole 8 billion other people there who will like you. They'll like your quirkiness, your funniness, whatever it is. So that's just my advice, is be 100% yourself. And if you have a dream, don't think because it's a $1 billion dream and you have 10 Rand in your account, it's not achievable. It is very much possible. All you have to do is say, if this is the dream, what am I going to do to get there? Just that. And yourself?
For me, I'd say you won't know until you try it. So just do it. You know, you got the Nike, the Nike slogan. Yeah, just do it. You know, you might not know what you may like. You won't know. Yeah, guys, just do it. I don't know. Just do it. You know, do your research also. Try to see what you don't like, what you do like. Chase a passion also. I feel like if you have a passion for something, it becomes easier on you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also about getting out of your comfort zone as well in order to succeed. Because then if you're home all the time, you're comfortable. You won't get far. But then you have to learn to get out of your comfort zone.
Being at home is nice also.
Yeah, I know. That's why you'll get comfortable. You'll get comfortable. But then now being out of your comfort zone, you'll be forced to do something.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not comfortable in this. So you'll be forced to make a plan. Okay, I need to be comfortable. So how will I do it? You get comfortable, you get out of your comfort zone again. So that's how it just works. Yeah. So do you have any questions to ask before we end the podcast?
I think just one main thing that I've just caught on to. We also have to practice what we preach. So just like a brief thing, you know, like what are each of us doing to actually get to that goal that we want to get to? We'll start with you, Josi.
Please repeat the question.
I was saying, what are we all doing? So like we must practice what we preach.
Yeah.
But now, for us personally, what are we doing to achieve those goals that we've set out for ourselves?
I feel like it all boils down to discipline, you know, waking up in the morning and having clear goals of the day, what you should do, what you want to do, what needs to be done on that day, and just being consistent throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year. And make small goals for yourself, you know, the smaller the better, more achievable, and then branch out, make them even bigger and long range.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For me, I just say it's just taking a step forward, you know, taking a step forward, not rushing, just taking a step. You know, if you get set steps back, keep on taking that step. That's for me, you know, that's what I'm doing right now. I just take a step forward, what I can do. You know, I don't force myself into situations I know, okay, here I can't do. Just take a step forward. We're not in a rush, you know, it's my game. I'm not in a competition with any of you guys. It's me versus me, and not me versus this guy or that guy, but me versus me. So I shouldn't be overlooking what you guys are doing. I should focus on me. My opponent is me. I have to beat me. So that's how it basically is. The man in the mirror, exactly.
Yeah, I like that. You know, comparison is a thief of joy. Definitely, definitely. I'd say for myself, we all, I know some of you can relate to this, some of you watching, but you also have that voice in your head that tells you, you shouldn't go for it. It's not worth it. Put the dream off. That dream won't happen. It's not achievable. Even though you see people, it will still tell you it's not achievable. It's not for you. You're not meant for it. So that's what I say. I had to conquer that voice and say, it is achievable. Or one way or another, I will get there. It doesn't matter if I'm going to get there by 25, 30, 35, but one day I will get there. So just have that driven mindset. Even if you were consistent for a month and then you had a dip, a plateau, as they say in performance, then you came back another month and it's up and down. Don't consider that a loss. It's all just about finding a rhythm that works for you. You see, so as people say, you shouldn't be taking breaks if you're not where you want to be. I say not take a break, because trust me, if you take enough breaks, you'll really see that, you'll really figure out how much you want this thing. When you aren't working, you'll see, actually, I do want this thing bad enough. I'm going to go back to work and get it. That type of thing.
Yeah, and dreams are very, like you said. And also, what you're saying about hate, it now reminds me when Mr. Lareth, when he told us that hate comments are gold. That's gold. Knowing that someone's hating on you, you can actually be like, okay, I'm actually doing something, I'm doing something that's actually making this person hate. Let me do more. That's why he said hate comments are gold, and I really picked up from that, hate comments are gold. So make sure you guys hate on me, so I can be motivated a bit more since they go. But then, yeah. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you stayed this far, don't forget to subscribe, like, share it, and do all that. You can come back to this video for motivation if you're trying to watch it, but always stay disciplined no matter what. So, peace. God loves you, yeah?
God loves you, yeah.